LeBron James and his basketball talents are in Los Angeles, but he also wants to be an owner someday. His business partner, Maverick Carter, has told Variety that the King has looked into NFL ownership as well as the NBA. Would LeBron be a good owner in the NBA? Sylvan.
He would be a good owner, and advice that I would give him is do not follow Michael Jordan. That's your, the comparisons of LeBron, Michael, this is going to be awesome because it could continue. Because Michael Jordan, the best basketball player to ever play, a mediocre sports owner. Mediocre sports owner. And here's why. When owners get involved in personnel decisions, whether or not you are a former player, that's bad news. If you want to own, delegate, hire the best guys to make the decisions. Michael's got a bunch of, quote, yes men. It's what divorced Charles Barkley
I was just going to say,
Michael
you
Jordan.
just put yourself on Charles Barkley level there.
Yeah,
Michael's not going to call you back.
Wait, what has Michael done in Charlotte? He has built a really mediocre team. He has not recruited any free agents. He has not drafted the best players. He's super rich. Super rich.
Hey, Sylvie.
But he's not a good sports owner. And LeBron, if you want to own a team, do what Michael is not doing.
Hey, Sylvie, you know you got to go back to Chicago, right? You're aware of that.
Oh, no, I know. And look, I get it. He's the best to ever play, but he's a bad owner. It's fact.
You want to know why I'm highly offended? Because Michael Jordan drafted me. Are you aware of that? Ryan Hollins was drafted to the Charlotte Bobcats at the time. So if you're saying he's a poor owner, what are you saying right now?
I rest my case.
Oh,
ouch.
Wow. Okay, let's turn gears to LeBron James right now.
Well done.
LeBron James would be an excellent owner. I talked to my sources, and the one thing that he's done is he's being patient. He could have owned or had a minority stake in an NFL team right now, but he wants to fall into the perfect situation. So he's going to wait for that to come along. They've already been in talks. They've already been in discussions. And ideally, in a perfect scenario, it's the Cleveland Browns. He comes back home. They go from 0-16. They get a new quarterback, Will Kane, and then they go on into glory.
Time out. So we're asking the question here, would LeBron James be a good owner? And I think the assumption at first is the way you address this, Sylvie, as an NBA owner. You're telling me that not only would he be a good NBA owner, but he would be a good NFL owner as well.
Yeah, LeBron wants both. He wants both, and he's the guy who can achieve that. You think of Magic, what he's doing with the Dodgers.
Right.
So you see that the type of athlete he is, and knowing his brand, he can cross over.
See, Magic was going to be the example I was going to use. I don't think Magic gets involved in baseball decisions. I think he realizes that he has put his money into this entity, and he trusts baseball people to run that organization, and I think it's worked quite well for him and for the Dodgers. I don't have any reason why LeBron would be a bad owner. I mean,
unless he wants to make the roster moves.
Well, right.
Look, he created the bad roster in Cleveland.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
that's a good point.
He cannot make these decisions.
Whoa. How did LeBron sign guys?
Yes, Tristan Thompson got signed by LeBron James.
So who else were they going to get? Before you thought a statement like that, Silva, who else were they getting?
Well, look, a lot of these guys have been signed because LeBron wanted them.
They had nobody else. They were already filled to the cap. There was nobody else they can do other than sign the talent that they already had on the team. So to say that he signed Percy, JR, and Tristan, that's the only thing they could do. And one thing you know from playing sports, when you win at a high level, you bring the same guys back. And what, if I'm not mistaken, 4 straight NBA Finals, 1 championship. He did a pretty good job, and he's not the guy signing the checks.
I'm not going to tell you that LeBron would be a bad owner. I'm also not going to tell you LeBron would be a good owner. I don't have strong evidence to suggest. You put it this way, Waddle. I don't see any reason he'd be a bad owner. I don't necessarily see any reason he'd be a good owner either.
Very fair.
And
say something then. Say something. Pick a side. Say something.
And in fact, I can give you some reasons why he'd be a bad owner. I mean,
in the NFL or the NBA?
Let's just start with the NBA.
Okay.
I think Mark has laid them out for you. I can give you 2. One, when you have players of this caliber, the truth of the matter is this applies to any billionaire, but particularly when you're in your own sport, like Michael Jordan in basketball, like LeBron James would be in basketball, you tend to be surrounded by yes men. You're not surrounded by people who are willing to tell you, hey, what you're doing here, it's wrong. It's going to leave this franchise in bad shape. And LeBron James, whether or not you want to believe this or not, Sylvie's absolutely right, forced, in fact, some bad decisions on the Cleveland Cavaliers, be it Tristan Thompson's contract or J.R. Ewing's contract, be it that the Cleveland Cavaliers had, the highest, what'd I say?
J.R. Ewing.
I'm from Dallas.
Yeah, your Dallas really came out there.
J.R. Smith's contract. Thank you, Tom. What did they have? The highest payroll in the NBA? Did they have? He left that franchise with a complete inability to adjust its roster on a team when he's no longer there. So we haven't seen LeBron succeed. We haven't seen him put together
LeBron
a team
is Dan
that
Gilbert
didn't
now.
feature LeBron
Hold on,
James.
so LeBron is Dan Gilbert right now.
No,
He was Dave Griffin.
no.
He's Kobe Altman. So that's what you're saying LeBron is, because that's what you're saying.
Come on, you telling me that they didn't make those moves to appease LeBron James? You're telling me they didn't make those moves because he wanted them made?
They made those moves because they were the only moves that they could actually make if you understood the cap. There was no other free agent they could
And what
bring in.
kind of shape are they in today?
The best thing they could.
What kind of shape are they in
Four straight NBA finals and a championship. And if you ask any organization, especially Cleveland, who hadn't been to the dance in over 50 years, is that not a success?
Well, but that's because he's playing.
Can you answer? Is that not a success?
It's a success.
Is that not a success?
That is a success.
Is that not a, I want to hear that out your mouth.
I think ownership is about long-term
You
success.
didn't answer the question. Is
what
that a
kind
success?
of shape are they in?
Right.
Yes or no? Success, yes or no?
I wasn't listening to you.
Oh, my God.
That's smart. Right. It's a success because he played. He's able to right the wrongs. When you're an owner, LeBron's not going to be able to will a team. Michael's finding that out when you're that good as a player and you're sitting now in a chair. You cannot implement your will and your competitive nature
Sills.
on the court.
Hey, Sills, you want to know what the difference between Michael Jordan and LeBron James? LeBron James understands his brand while playing basketball. Michael Jordan, when Michael finished, fair to say, because you guys are, look, Chicago legends. When Michael finished.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, you guys are legends. Sylvie and Waddle show, by the way. When Michael finished, Michael started getting the shoes, branding, all this, exploring ownership, all this. While playing, he didn't think about that stuff. He wasn't doing that stuff. So LeBron James and his camp are making these moves now. They're setting themselves up for the future.